Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 4 of our podcast. How are you doing, Mareth?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing?
I am doing well, and this is going to be our playoff edition of our podcast. We are going to have a couple of guests on the show this round, and I'm hoping that this is going to be a fun one because playoffs mean that there's been four teams knocked out. So, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched the results yet, you probably don't want to be hearing the podcast. Um, Merit, obviously, we're going to go through the games and we're going to have our guests as well to go through the games with. And before we go on to there, just a quick recap of our prediction that we made. We had, I guess, both your and mine prediction was that the Holly Power versus WildDaddy game would be a sweep for WildDaddy, and that was the case, correct?
Yeah, I think I think that was the one of the four matches that everyone kind of thought this one's pretty set in stone. This one is like for power to win that game. I think it would have taken a miracle.
Yeah, I believe so too. So that prediction was pretty much as you thought or as you would have it. You expected that series to go the way it did. Um, then the next game, Cryptic versus Hollywood.
Yeah, now when we did our predictions, the decision we came up with together was that Cryptic would win. But I am a staunch believer that if anyone goes back and reviews the tapes, they'll know I was a Hollywood supporter from the start.
Yeah, I mean for sure. And then even the prediction that I made, I gave it 2-1 to Cryptic, but I again, you can run the tapes back. I also said that I had zero faith in my prediction because the reasoning that I gave was that felt that Cryptic was the better drafter, and that was the reason they were gonna win. But oh my god, did Hollywood make some incredible drafts in that playoff series. We're gonna talk more about it, but yeah, I the thing that I said specifically was gonna win Cryptic the game was specifically the reason that Hollywood won this series. So we're gonna get more into details about that later on. Um, then we had, I think, the upset of the playoff bracket that we all thought was coming, but we all were not sure was gonna eventually happen. Watkins versus Copless. Like, I think
Yeah, that
everybody.
was a heck of a game, and I think everyone was in the back of their minds hopeful Copless would be able to pull it out, especially considering the rough start they had to the season, but boy did they do it, and boy did they do it cleanly. They they came out swinging and had some cohesive ideas, and it was a pleasure to watch those games.
Absolutely, like, the Watkins team were undoubtedly the favorites going in, but as Megumin has been saying consistently, rigged stand-in, rigged team, Copless just comes out, and again, we kind of were expecting a good fight from Copless. Maybe some people were even expecting them to win, but yep, was one of the upsets of the playoff brackets for sure. And then lastly, we had the Giraffe versus Kahua game as well. And I think this series was probably one of the more um like it was one on the side that hey, people were kind of on the fence as to which team might win, but there were still Kahua did go into the game series as favorites and they did end up winning 2-0. So props to us, Merit.
Yeah, I mean the game definitely felt good for us, but again, I think I blame Megaman for this one. Megaman predicted Giraffe to win, I believe, Mega Man stay losing. That's what he's known for.
Yeah, for sure. Mega Man with yet another wonky prediction on this particular
Watch
series.
prediction, yeah.
And maybe this is all a calibration method for him. He goes here, there, and everywhere, and then finally comes semi-final, he gets his bearings right and makes those 100% spot on predictions. So hopefully he gets his head calibrated from these games. um okay, so we just wanted to start off the episode by going over our predictions. And now let's get into the episode in earnest, as I would like to invite our guests on.
Yeah. I think having our guests will bring a wonderful level of insight and knowledge, and these are two very, very respectable people. I'm very excited to be able to talk with them today. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. So we have firstly Power with us. Welcome, Power. How are you doing?
Good.
And hopefully the second guest will be shortly joining in with us. I know they said that.
They'll come in due time, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But we can use this opportunity to throw Power over the questionnaire grill and squeeze every bit of info we can out.
Yep, I am going to bring up Dota on
I know
here.
everybody wants to know our secret.
Yeah, Mareth, you can proceed with the starting questions while I bring up the games on my screen.
Yeah, so I think one of my main questions is what changes, and while the results were the same, what changes did you make going from the week previous against WildDaddy to last Sunday against WildDaddy?
So the normal games, we knew it didn't matter. So I think we were kind of just messing around, and I think WildDaddy was messing around because WildDaddy was my captain for LD2L. So we knew each other. We know each other pretty well. Like we knew we were gonna kind of just mess around in these games. I mean, like if you watched the second game, like it was literally just a bloodbath the whole game because I know my team agreed that we're not going to play normal Dota. We're just going to run at them. So you'll see my Spirit Breaker just charge anybody on the map the second they show. And we were just clowning basically for fun. And then in playoffs, we were like, all right, we should probably take this seriously and actually try to play a normal game of Dota. I mean, obviously we still got rolled, but we wanted to just, I guess, have fun for the final week where it didn't really matter the result because either way we were bottom seed and they were top seed.
Yeah. I think, looking at the games, I really enjoy the Lone Druid pick in your first game.
I think he doesn't play that hero at all either.
Okay.
He was
because by the stat numbers, by the stat line, he did pretty well.
Yeah, he actually did really well. He literally was just I don't play this hero, but I want to play it because I want to have fun in this game. And so he just picked it just to see what happened, basically. And we first picked it just to, I don't know, just throw him off. But drafting against WildDaddy is impossible because he will pick anything mid.
Yeah.
And we thought it was Morta carry. We thought it was Space Cowboy on Skywrath, and then they picked Slark last pick, which really ruined our whole draft, honestly. But
yeah, the Slark definitely looks like he had a really good game. Slark into Weaver, I think Slark favored. He can easily dispel the bugs with his ult or shard, and then he can just feed off of the Shaman and the Lion. That's just a very strong Slark pick. That's one thing I'm worried about for if or when we have to plan versus the WildDaddy team is their drafting. They have strong side lane cores, and then they have complete freedom with the other three players in what they play.
Yeah, I don't know how you draft against him. I've played on his team, and WildDaddy will pick literally any hero mid ever. I mean, he picked Pugna mid against us in game 2. Like, he will like play anything. He's played Shadow Demon mid. Like, he will pick whatever he feels like playing. And I feel like he knows drafts really well, so he's usually he's usually picking a good mid.
Yeah.
And then like Space Cowboy's always gonna play weird stuff, and like both games we had no idea where any hero was going. Like we thought it was mid sniper, and then they picked Clinks, and we're like, okay, is it mid Clinks and then carry sniper, and then they picked Pugna final pick, and we're like, all right, well now we have no idea what's happening. So you just like can't draft against them because you have no idea where anything's going. It's really hard to do.
Yeah. I think I mean, I remember talking with Hollywood about it. Like, when you have that level of flexibility, it just opens up so many more options in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, like, Space Cowboy playing Marta game 1, we did not expect that at all. We had that wasn't even on our draft sheet anywhere. Like, I've never seen him play it, and I played it the whole season with him. So, actually 2 whole seasons I've never seen him play it. So, they kind of pulled that out of nowhere, and then yeah, the Slark pick made that whole game impossible for us almost. So
yeah.
So
one of the other questions
Oh,
that
go
I
ahead.
wanted. Oh, sorry, yeah, Cephad, if you have something a little more.
No,
for
go
it.
ahead.
I was gonna move on to like looking forward and get Power's take on games going forward.
Yeah, sure.
I think WildDaddy.
Yeah, realistically, like
crazy.
maybe focus on your side of the draft, and then we can move to the other or side of the bracket, and then we can move to the other half of the bracket.
Let me pull it up quick.
So the next game will be WildDaddy and Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you stop this WildDaddy team. I'm gonna be honest. WildDaddy's like crazy good at mid. Like he's plays like a whole badge or more above his rank in my opinion. And then like Winx is a crazy good carry. People were like, "Oh, video game enjoyer." They're like, "Oh, if you ban Timber, this guy's useless." But like, he was cooking me safe lane on like anything he played against me in all 4 games. So
yeah,
he does not just play Timber. Like he can pick. Like he played Weaver off lane and like still shit on me. So
yeah.
he knows what
From
he's
playing
doing.
in houses with Video Game Enjoyer, I've noticed he has like, I don't know, 8 heroes or something that he's like extremely proficient on. It's not just the Timber, yeah.
Yeah, we thought we'd ban the Timber and be fine, but we were super wrong there.
Mm-hmm.
That guy, he basically just built carry in all 4 games.
Yeah.
Which we probably should have been able to punish that more, but I mean, I guess the first series that we played like last week, I mean, is whatever it wasn't, the games were just messing around for the most part, but like, I mean, he basically built carry Chaos Knight, and we should have been able to like punish the greedy draft they had, but I mean, they just ran us over with it pretty much.
Yeah.
I should say Slark ran us over. I think if Slark didn't have 19 kills, I think there's a world where we win that game, actually, but...
So
Cephad, what was your question earlier? Yes.
So I have more of broad questions for you. Going
Sure.
Obviously, Mareth's asking you in specific about how you were planning to strategize against this WildDaddy team. So I just wanted to ask, with your team in particular, again, I'm hoping to get like an answer from you, which is, with your team in particular, how did you feel you guys, in terms of your players as heroes that they played? Do you feel like the heroes that they played were heroes that you liked drafting or you liked playing Dota with, or did they have hero pools that never really fitted with what you wanted to draft as a captain, and so you kind of had to adapt and adjust because of that?
Yeah, so funny enough, DJ actually did all the drafting for almost the whole season because he wanted to practice drafting. And I was like, I can't be bothered to do drafting, so it worked for both of us. So he did a lot of the drafting, and I just kind of put my feet up, and then in draft would tell him what I felt like playing, and I would look at some of the drafting. Toasty did a lot of our drafting actually. She was having a good time just doing all sorts of scouting for us, and getting all the info. So honestly, I can't take any credit for any drafting because the last 2 weeks Toasty did the drafting, and before that it was entirely DJ. So, but as for heroes, I think I honestly had a lot of fun on this team, even though we lost every single game. Um, Once we got rid of the one he who shall not be named player that got removed from our team, the enjoyment of our games tripled. Like we were miserable with this guy. I don't want to like get too much into that because there's a whole bunch of drama. But when we got Deuterino on our team, like immediately games like way more fun. Like even though we were getting rolled, like we kind of just changed the focus from like winning to improving Toasty and Deuterino as much as we can because they were our two like lowest ranked players. Um, and we put like a bunch of effort on improving like Toasty's game because she's really wants to learn more and like improve. And every week she was actively implementing things that we were telling her to do. So she improved very quickly.
Yeah, I that's one thing I noticed when I first saw Toasty drafting at the end. I was like, because at the heart and soul of this league is about like helping lower rank or new players learn how to play better.
Mhm.
So I was
We
that
basically full committed to that.
seeing her draft and seeing her progression because we played you guys I think week 1 and they're like then watching like her gameplay from like playing against it the first week to the last couple weeks, like there's been a big improvement and that makes me happy too.
Yeah, we were doing replay reviews with her. She wanted to know like what we can do better in lane, so we were going over our own lane and just I was writing out like tips for her and like explained point by point what she should be doing like each minute, and it was really encouraging. Like I would put this effort in, and then literally the next game we'd play, I would immediately see her doing it, and that was like super encouraging for me to want to keep working to improve. Um, it made me want to keep showing up to the games because she kept showing up to the games and kept improving and like actively implementing things. So, um, yeah, once we were like 0-8, like we were like, all right, screw the season. We'll just focus on improvement and who cares about winning anymore? Because I think we kind of knew we were in the dumps in terms of having a chance to win. So,
Yeah.
So
Well, that certainly puts a smile on my face.
yeah, I mean,
The improvement part, but yeah.
again, I think I echo what Mareth has said, that this league is all about, again, literally in the name, learn Dota 2 league. So we are, again, no matter what MMR you are, like we are always trying to learn from a single game. We want to get better at the game. We want to figure out what mistakes we do and how to improve. We also want to be told the good things that we do, that maybe we have some good takes that we have about the game. So I appreciate that you as the captain have done that actively and have helped bring about those kinds of changes in one of your teammates. Um, Having said that, is was this I wanted to know, was this your first time in terms of captaining a team in a draft league, or have you done that before?
yes, I was forced to captain because there weren't very many people that could do it, and I think I have made up my mind I'm never doing it again. But it was a good experience to just to learn that I had no interest in captaining.
Okay, so I mean, I was gonna ask you about, okay, again, you don't have to give an answer if you don't have to give an answer if you don't want to. I was gonna ask, looking back at how things played out throughout the entire season, do you think you had concerns that, oh, I might have gone for a player that I didn't want to, I overpaid for a player, or in terms of the whole auction strategies? If you could go back and do it again, would you be willing to perhaps employ different strategies in terms of nominating people to be auctioned first or later, or maybe hacking up the prices of certain people when you're bidding for them?
Yeah, I thought about it a lot actually. I made two really big mistakes. The first one is I overspent on DJ because I just like DJ and wanted to play with him. Uh, and I spent like almost all my money on him. And in hindsight, that really ruined my day because then I could not get even like a legend player or anything like that on my team. I basically had one ancient and that was it. And the other thing I really learned is supports are insanely valuable. Uh, I kind of always assumed that it's like, oh, spend all your money on cores and then supports or whatever. But uh, very, very much learned the impact of a good support
Who are
in
your
this league.
supports?
We had Toasty on 5 and Deuterino on 4.
Okay.
And they were both Guardian 2 or 3-ish, which I kind of took for granted a lot, like having a support that's about my rank in like LD2L and in ranked and stuff. And I never really considered how much of an impact a 5 has on my lane. And this league made me really conscious of that, I guess.
It's the same thing with the Reverse the Flow team. I was telling my team, like, oh, this guy, they were saying, oh, he plays so much of this one hero, and I told them I don't give two shits what some Herald support player plays. Not to be an asshole or anything, but like, it's so easy to abuse the lane. It doesn't matter if the core is Divine 1 or whatever, if he has a Herald support, because you can just sit there and keep clicking the Divine 1 core or just kill the support over and over. It's
Yeah,
too
I
easy
actually
to abuse.
used you as a good example, like for Toasty. Like when we were laning against you, I believe in game, you were playing Hoodwink and you were right clicking me constantly, and I was like, Toasty, you see what he's doing to me? I need you to do that to them. And it's hard to like teach somebody that sense of like how far can I step up without dying, because she would get more aggressive and then die because she got more aggressive. But then like she died, she'd stay too far back and not apply any pressure, so I couldn't get any last hits. And like it's that super fine line that you can only really learn from just playing a lot. And she only has like a couple hundred games, so she's pretty new to the game. So I don't blame her. I'll say all this with an asterisk of I love playing with Toasty. She's awesome. So I'm not gonna like. There's no malice or flame behind any of that. And she's I think aware of that too. That she's just not a strong laner yet, and she's working on it and is making improvements on it. But having the like strong position 5 is so underrated, I think.
Okay,
That definitely helps a lot.
before we move on, I would just like to acknowledge that Cryptic has joined us as the second guest for this week's episode. Welcome, Cryptic. How are you doing?
I'm good. I just got off work, so
Okay.
doing all right.
So we're just we're looking at Power's games in the playoffs, just getting his thoughts on his team, on his draft, on his time as a captain. So and after that, we're gonna be moving on to the insane drama series that we all wanted, that featured Cryptic and versus Hollywood. So Power, I wanted to ask, have you played in LD2L before, or was this your first season? Because I know this is the first time captaining. You played as a player before.
I have played 2 other seasons, and I've one mini, I think.
Right, and would you care to share the results of those seasons with us?
I can't even remember. The first season was with Trash Boat. I was Guardian 5 playing support, and I had no idea what I was doing. That was 2 seasons ago, and I mean, I had fun because I learned so much from that. We ended 10-8, so much better. And then the next season was a train wreck of a season, where Tall Balls was my captain, and no one really knew what roles we were playing. I was Crusader 3 at this time, and we rotated between me, Tall Balls, and in the pool between 1 and 2, and support. So like we were all bouncing all over the place, and nobody really knew what roles we wanted to play, and Tall Balls wouldn't just like assign us a role. So that was a really bad season. We ended like 2-16 or something. But and then this was my 3rd season.
Right, so seems like you've had the first season being a great season, and then the next subsequent 2 seasons not being too great. So how has your LD2L experience been as a whole? Like, I wanted to, any good lore you have, any good, great teammates or people you've been with, or even bad teammates, whatever you want to share with us in terms of just your entire LD2L experience so far.
Honestly, I still have fun, even though I get shit on every week. I have fun. I don't necessarily take the league as seriously as something like LD2L. Um, I don't I'm not gonna say I don't put as much effort in, but it's like I'm not like doing my own scouting or anything like that, like on my own time or anything. I just kind of show up on Sunday and play for fun. Um, because I think the league just inherently is hard to be fair, if that makes sense. Like I'm not flaming the league or anything, but it's really hard when you have a Guardian 1 on the same team with like an Ancient 3, you know? The teams are just inherently going to be kind of all over the place in terms of skill and how fair it is in the game. So I just kind of treat it as more of like a fun time to show up and play.
Yeah.
So overall, good experience.
That's
I think there's a level of that as well with like even just the average MMR on all the teams. There's almost 1,000 MMR difference between the average MMR. So like
Yeah.
I don't know. It is definitely hard to get relatively balanced teams, and then when it's like you could have a team where the 3 and the 4 are the two high ranks, and then they just run over every single lane they're in, and it doesn't matter who they're against, and I don't know. It's
It's
hard
just
to
an inherent flaw of a draft league, and like it's no flame on LD2L or anything. It's just like that's just what happens at draft leagues, unfortunately. So it's and like I take full responsibility for messing up my team's draft in the draft league, but I also had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know like half the players in the draft, so
yeah. That I mean, as long as you had a fun time, I think that's the whole point of the league. So at least
yeah. I will say, even though we didn't win a game, it was not my worst season. I'll say that.
that's
I think the season last season was worse than this one, despite us winning 2 games.
that's actually amazing to hear. So I'm glad that you had fun. So before we move our attention to the other series with the other captain, one last question to you, Power. And feel free to stick around when hear what Cryptic's thoughts are. Feel free to ask him questions about his series. We would love to have you as we dissect that series. But last question is
Sure.
specific to you and your experience. Is there any particular player? First of all, would you want to come back for more seasons of LD2L? And then, if so, are there any particular players that you would want to play with on teams?
I'm definitely coming back for the next season if my schedule allows for it. Um, as for actual players I want to play with, that's a hard one. There's a lot of players in LD2L that have a reputation, and I want to know why they have that reputation. Um, I think it would be kind of fun to play with some of those people, like Hollywood. I know I've never played with Hollywood, but everybody seems to love playing with him. So, and same with Luth. I don't know. Every time I've laned against Luth a couple times, and he seems like a fun person to play with. So,
Okay.
Yeah, if I can kind of jump on, I'd like personally, like Giraffe Copless, I think are both players that I'd love to play with. I mean, like you seem like a wonderful, like just a good energy type of person.
just don't play. Just don't hope you win if you play with me. We got
That's
good
fine.
vibes, but
Like
we don't
again,
have a good win rate.
a lot of it's more for like I don't know, I play for fun and I just I don't know, it's all about the good vibes. Um Playing with the amount of in-houses I've played with, like Hollywood definitely has an energy to him that it's almost like addictive. Like he's slightly toxic and very cocky, and there's a really good, I don't know, it feels good when you're with him and feels good to play against him too. I don't know.
He's confident even when he's wrong. Like he'll make a
Yeah.
bad play and then be like, "Hell yeah, it doesn't matter. We're still gonna win this." And they'll be like 30k down, and like he's always got a good attitude. So I will say that about Hollywood.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Hollywood. All right. So
Honestly, as long as they're not toxic, I'm down to play with you. That's like
Yep.
my kind of. I genuinely don't care who my teammates are. Like this league, this season is a really good example. We literally lost every game, but everybody on my team was awesome, and I have no complaints.
Yeah.
awesome. So thank you for your takes, Power. Now we switch over to the series that I personally have been looking forward to. And boy, oh boy, did it serve up intense moments. Cryptic, how do you feel after that series?
Uh, man, I don't know. It wasn't like it felt like we threw real. I mean, it didn't feel like we definitely threw hard in game one, and not having our usual offlaner kind of threw us off too. It was really weird going from like 2 complete stomps last week to losing both games this week. So personally for me, I've got no bad blood with anybody. Anyone that really plays against me knows I'm a shit talker. I'm gonna spam my voice lines. I'm gonna all chat, but like I don't actually like get mad. BM pause on me. I don't care. So I mean, I messaged Hollywood and Dusty after the games, like, Hollywood, hell yeah, dude, your Undying is way better than I thought it would be, or just talking to Dusty about the game in general, despite having spent the entire game like spamming voice lines and tipping him and stuff. So I can't say the same for everyone on my team. I don't know. I feel like Inno and Dusty do not get along, and I think it's mutual. But overall, it wasn't bad. I don't know.
Okay, so going into the series again, because I stood in for your guys' team in the last week of the regular season, the drafting strategy in that one was let's let the jug through. So for the side of Hollywood, and they thought they could counter it with the Alchemist in both games, and they did not. So, were you expecting them in terms of drafting strategy? So, I have 2 questions about drafting strategy. Basically, number one, were you expecting the Jug to still not get banned, or did you expect the bans? And number two, were you targeting Dusty's hero pool with your bans as a drafting strategy, or were you thinking maybe we want to have more of a well-rounded bans for what we want to bring to the table?
I was expecting Jug to get banned. I don't think I was necessarily targeting Dusty because we thought he was going to be P1, and he played P3 both games. So we stuck with the same draft strategy, at least for game 1, and then half of the game 2 draft. I can actually just go look at what I had listed, but basically I was banning Hollywood's Disruptor because I'm too stupid and I will TP out and get glimpsed back to Fountain. So definitely wanted to ban that. And then I was just banning some of the offlane heroes that Luth was playing, like Doom, Disruptor, Centaur, Bat, or Doom, Centaur, and Bat. Those kind of heroes. I banned Night Stalker just because I can't stand laning or playing against that hero.
Yeah.
So.
Personally, as someone who played a lot of Night Stalker before the most recent patch, it's a very different energy. I'm not a fan. But it's still very strong, and by the stats, like, Night Stalker is still a good hero.
As a support player, I just hate him so much.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So, diving deep into what happened into game 1, at 30 minutes, give me a percentage. How confident were you that this game is in the bag?
Oh my god. Okay, well, 30 minutes in is when the big throw happened, and I recorded my point of view. I really wish I just changed my headset too, so I got a new headset and it wasn't configured for OBS, so you can't hear my voice. You hear everyone else's voice, but you can't hear mine. But I was saying, get back, don't dive tier 4s, hit the buildings, stop diving. And then 4 heroes bought back. I was like, guys, they're buying back. We need to get out. We need to leave. And then 4 of them died behind the towers. And I was like, well, this game is probably over because that was just 4 massive kill leads that we fed to a Medusa. And lo and behold, game was over.
Yeah, Medusa, I believe it was Dusty's Pango, and Dusty was having a rough game on that Pango. but then got, I think, like 1,600 or 1,800 gold from that. And
Yeah, that was
instantly
huge.
had Blink, and then the next fight was able to actually like Blink initiate, and I don't know.
They did a really good job after that fight too, because we were still in the game. It was just really hard. But they did a really good job of not getting caught outside of the base, so that we could get a pick off and then push.
So, given what happened, and we all know that hindsight is 2020, would you have perhaps chosen different heroes for your team, or banned one of the 5 heroes on the enemy team?
Probably ban the co-op. We didn't really have a good way to deal with her. I had to build Hex both games, and we still just didn't have the damage to kill her. And then as for picking heroes differently, I think maybe getting Inno on a farming hero. Like Ricky did well early on, but like as soon as we threw that lead, he was just that, and they got a bunch of force staffs. So I was saying we need to build Noli, and he also needed like a BKB at that point, and Basher, and I don't know, a lot of items that needed to be built.
Ricky's
MKB.
very tempo. You lost the
Yeah.
tempo, it looks like.
Yeah, exactly.
One thing I want to ask is, like, in the game, did you have a like designated shot caller, someone that was primarily making the team decisions of, hit this building, focus this hero, things like that?
Generally, it's me, but some people don't listen to calls as much. I won't name names, but I think everyone kind of takes turns tuning me out.
Yeah.
So, although I will say, not Narade, he's a real G.
Yeah, I quite like Neurotophobia. Playing a lot of in-houses with him. He's expanding his hero pool, he's trying a lot of new heroes, practicing, he's getting better. It's a pleasure to play with him on my teams.
All right.
Yeah, and I don't want any of this to sound like I'm like flaming my team or anything. I had fun playing with them. Except for Space Aids. Fuck that guy abandoning us on playoffs. That's fucked up.
Yeah, that's apparent. Like, everyone's, I don't know what's wrong with pause 3s. As a pause 3 player, like, I don't know what's going on, but GRF had the same issue. Like, last week, or like halfway through the week, their pause 3 also just like at least messaged, I believe, but was just like, sorry, I'm done, I'm out, I'm not playing anymore. Like,
Yep.
it's horrible. It's rough. Like, if it happens, 2 weeks in, it's like, sure, you can adjust through the season and adapt, but right before the playoff game, it's so unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just waiting for Mareth to dip from our team at any time. Given what all the pause 3s, all the pause 3s are doing, so hopefully Mareth doesn't disappoint me. Alright, so last comment or question I have from game 1. What the hell was the GG call?
So, okay, yeah, so the GG call was legitimate. What happened was they wiped us, and it was, I think, literally just me, or maybe just Narade. One of the supports, and everyone else was dead. They had no buyback. So I was like, or we had no buyback. And I was like, okay, well, that's GG. They're going to get megas. They're going to end the game because we're all at like 60-second respawn timers, right? So I called it. And then it was like, no, play it out. I was like, well, we can't. I just called it. So somebody canceled, I assume, And then like 5 seconds later, he had buyback because I guess he was really close to it. So if I had known that, I probably wouldn't have called GG. But I thought for sure we're just dead for 60 seconds. I just looked up at the, hero death timers up top, and nobody had buyback when I called it.
Alright, so it's basically you making that decision on your own, not really consulting your teammates.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was bad communication.
Okay, gotcha. Alright, so
my big questions are for game 2, I'll be honest. Like,
yeah.
I think game 2 was a very tight game, and in my opinion, I feel like Hollywood had a better draft on paper, but your Phoenix was doing insane damage every single fight. You were pumping out easily double damage of anyone else in the fight, and then the one horrible, probably what lost you the game moment. You TP'd, shift queued. I can't remember, either Fire Spirits and then ult, or just ult.
It was
And your
spirits and
ult
then ult.
brought you back to base.
Yeah, that was cool. It's funny too because in the clip you can see me, like, you can't hear me because again my mic wasn't like configured with OBS, but you could see me like shake my camera like in a fit of rage. I was just here like, what the fuck is going on? Like I didn't see where I was at because I just TP'd in. I was like, okay, where's the egg? So I hit my center on hero button and I'm in the fountain. So
Why did it do that?
I don't have any idea.
My assumption is it's like kind of like the old IO TP relocate thing, where if you do it like on the same frame, and because it's like shift queued, it assumed you were like both in base and had just finished TPing or something. But that's, I don't know. That's
I just
like
watched the
game
clip.
losing bug.
That's so
I think.
weird. Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
weird.
It had to be like a server tick problem or some shit. I don't know, but yeah, that was brutal. We still won the fight, but like we would have won it without losing two of our other heroes. Very
So
unfortunate.
I know it's all official and done, but is there any part of you that wants a rematch? Even 1%, 5%?
Sure. Sure, yeah, I'd do it again. We're 2-2 right now, so
Right.
yeah, why not?
So one question I have, again, we're gonna get more into game 2, but just before that, was there any part of you, again, because of the whole situation regarding your team again and their team, specifically one player on your team versus one player on their team, was there any part of you that wanted to keep the lanes separate, or like, not have them face each other in laning stage because you felt like it might affect your team, that player along with your entire team? Or did you not care about that at all and you were like, we're gonna take this game as normally as possible?
Are you talking like Inno versus Dusty in lane?
Yeah,
or
exactly.
I didn't really factor that in. We just kind of picked whatever lanes made the most sense, and when I had Undying, I was like, well, it's a good Undying 5 game, so I'll lane against Dusty, and then I didn't have Undying game 2, so I went top.
Okay, so you never considered that, hey, maybe laning Ino into Dusty might make Ino play worse because, of the whole situation they have between each other. You just had trust in your teammates.
Yeah, I figured we'd just play it like normal and do whatever lanes made the most sense. Mars Phoenix is usually pretty good. Hollywood kicked my ass, I'm not gonna lie. I lost lane to Hollywood on Phoenix, so that's why I was messaging him. I was like, dude, I didn't know your Undying was actually that good.
Yeah, he did. He had some crazy good initiations, some crazy good itemizations as well. Like, again, laning wise, he did kind of bully you guys a lot. I mean, having said that, how difficult was it to have a completely new boss 3? And then I say that because there were a few times where the Mars player felt under pressure, it seemed like, because they were missing their spells or they were not able to combine their spells with your teammates. Had you practiced with them at all before, or was it like literally shoehorn them into the fire? So how was it like?
It was like 2 hours before the games. We didn't have a chance to play anything with Jumpman. I think playing with Jumpman was better than playing with Space Aids, simply because Jumpman actually plays P3 heroes instead of like Luna. I think at one point he wanted offlane Void, offlane Meepo, like offlane OD, weird shit like that. So Jumpman actually plays P3s, which was really nice. I think the mistake we made that game wasn't necessarily Jumpman's fault. It was more the entire team needed to play closer together so that, like, we had this insane combo, right, with Arena, Egg, and Kisses, and we just never... We got to use it a couple times, but we could have been using it every fight if we were just maybe within 2 seconds walking distance closer. Like we're talking like one jungle camp closer. We all would have made it in time to take the fight and win.
Yeah.
But we're just a little too spread.
And again, the same question I have for game 1, I'll ask you for game 2. At 30 minutes, how confident were you that you guys have this game in the bag?
Oh, we were 100% confident. I was pretty confident as well, just because I was like, oh, my team's not gonna dive the fountain. So we were pretty confident. Like you should hear our comms when there was a fight around the tier 2 mid, and I think that was probably closer to 20 minutes. But where we're just like killing them one by one, and then they're TPing in one hero at a time, and we're just killing them over and over, and everyone's laughing their ass off like, yes, come in and feed, you know? So we were pretty confident that this one was in the bag.
Right, yeah, I mean, again, the game state, like both games, it was watching it, felt like we're just watching a repeat. You guys have this massive goal lead, and you guys are just dominating the map. And at 30 minutes, we're like, yeah, we can call this game over. But you never said no in Dota, apparently, because things can always change. And obviously, Mareth pointed out later on, you had that crucial Phoenix buyback into TP, into Egg not working out. It probably, if that play does happen, Eno probably survives. You guys can push much faster than you actually did. Take some basic buildings in the enemy's base, and maybe the game turns out differently. So, yeah, I mean, not much else to be said about that game. I think, Mary, do you have any more questions about this? Power, you too as well, about the game itself?
Honestly, I didn't even watch the games, so I've been catching up on them on Open Dota, just like scrolling through the chat and scrolling through the team fights and stuff. The games looked crazy.
Yeah. Mike, one other question is Pangolier game 2. You let it through again, and I know Dusty had a much harder time in game 1, but I feel like game 2, Dusty did really well on Pango. If you were to, in hindsight, or if you were to play another game, do you think you would consider banning that hero, or do you feel like maybe it was more of the Quap and Lifestealer as the issue?
Well, I think my whole draft plan would change, because now I know Dusty is for sure going to be P3 if we were to play, like, say, a 5th and 6th game. Unless they switch it up on me again, but I would assume that Dusty's going to be the P3 now. I would ban, Pango, Night Stalker, some of Dusty's heroes rather than Luth's, because Luth can play pretty much anything on carry, and I don't think it's worth trying to ban him out. So I would focus ban Dusty specifically, and then the Hollywood Disruptor, maybe the Quap, but JD's also pretty hard to ban because he's got like 200 games on his account and he plays on Smurfs, so I don't know what to ban.
Yeah.
All right, so overall, how did season 21 of LD2L vote for you? Was this your first time captaining?
No, I've captained 3 or 4 seasons.
So yeah, comparing it to your previous seasons, how did it feel this time around?
See, out of the 3 or 4 that I've captained, I would say this is the second best season I've had. Overall, it was pretty enjoyable. My best season was probably season 3.
All right. And in terms of your auction strategies, did you feel like you hit the nail on the head with the team you were able to accrue, or did you feel like you would change it up given how the season panned out?
MMR wise, I think the auction draft worked out really well for me. I think we were the highest average MMR. I noticed when I picked Space Aids, he was pretty diverse. So I thought, okay, this guy can for sure play offlane and won't want carry heroes in offlane. So if I had known that, maybe I would have picked like someone a little more specialized in offlane, or yeah, I don't know. But MMR wise, I think I did well, and had that not been kind of a, I don't know if wild card's the right word for it, but
Yeah.
had his hero pool been a bit more orthodox, I think we would have been really solid because everyone else was comfortable in their roles.
So, there's a question in chat and something that echoes in my mind as well. Do you think if you had switched your position to pause 3 or mid, your team would have fared better?
Nobody wants to see me play P3. Mid, maybe. I don't. Loki says he's not a very good 3, so probably not. A lot of people are gonna also say I can't play mid. They are wrong. I just don't play the mids that you would expect me to play. So you'd see shit like mid Phoenix, mid Undying, heroes that are gonna completely take over the game at 20 minutes and then be useless at 50. But I could play mids. I'm just gonna play weird shit like that. So maybe it goes differently. I don't know. I don't enjoy playing core. So even in LD2L, I'd probably prefer not to.
That's fair. One question I have, kind of piggybacking off of that, like I'm a big fan of, like, I'll play orthodox offlaners, Underlords and Mars and Slardar and Tidehunter and stuff, but like Undying is one that I played this last week, and I feel like and Phoenix is one that I wish I played better, and when I do, it's fun, and maybe in the future I'll grind out a couple games on Phoenix to learn. But I would you consider like practicing offlane, or if you were in a different team in the future, playing offlane, still kind of resting on those preferred heroes?
I mean, if I was drafted for offlane, I would play offlane. I would still play some of the weird heroes like Undying and Phoenix. I think they can both be played P3, but I can play Underlord okay. I mean, I can play Axe okay. There's some offlanes that I can play. It's just not as wide of a hero pool as like Dusty or Luth potentially.
That's fair. I understand that, yeah.
All right. So, because you've had such an extensive experience playing in LD2L, are there still players that you would like with or against in future seasons of LD2L?
I would say I love playing against everybody. But playing with, I've probably played with most people at this point. Maybe Blue Jay. I think he's like, I've played a couple in-houses with him, and he was pretty fun to play with. I think I played the mini with Giraffe, and he was fun as well. Or maybe just in-houses. But I'd play with Giraffe again.
Okay.
Blue Jay's
So,
fun.
I don't know.
I like Blue Jay.
Yeah, I like Blue Jay too.
He's fun.
All right. So,
His Rubik build, gets me every time.
oh my
The,
god,
like, double
yes.
bracer
Oh,
fail Rubik.
I don't know how
So
he
good.
crawled that crazy strategy in his mind, but what is that? I still don't understand it. Apparently it works, so probably I'm just a noob. But damn, yeah, that's a crazy ass build for sure. Okay, so I just wanted to ask if you guys could give me an answer for it. People in this season of LA2L, to both the captains, people that have been your MVPs thus far. You guys could give me a bunch of names or names for specific positions. People that have caught your eye that, So I guess we'll do power first and then cryptic, or vice versa. Whoever wants to go first.
I'll go first because I think I have to run here in a second. But I would say probably I don't even know how to say it. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's solid. He's definitely a good core player above his rank. Same with Winks. Kaihua kind of surprised me with, I don't know if it was a league game or an in-house, but he played P1 Underlord and just absolutely wrecked us at like 15 minutes. He's hitting for 700 damage. So I I'd say those three.
All right, Power.
Yeah, I'm gonna say WildDaddy and Winx. Like those two, like have just been running people over in their games. Like it's insane. Like Winx in the whole league is an 8.3 KDA. Like he's just actually annihilating people in every single game. And like WildDaddy just runs the game for the first like 15 minutes, and Winx just gets free farm and then runs the team over with WildDaddy after that. It's so aggressive. I don't even know what you do about it. And then I would like to formally request that Toasty gets votes for most improved, because Toasty's the underdog for me of most improved player for sure. Like crazy improvement from her.
All right. Thank you so much to both captains for attending this episode. Before I let you guys go, if you guys want to give any shout outs, any thank yous, or just any end of season remarks, feel free to go ahead.
Space Cowboy. Thanks, guys.
I would like to apologize to DJ for making his first LD2L hell. He said he doesn't think the league is for him.